Whenever I show data to my clients, they are actually pretty impressed and they will ask me, James, where do I get all this data from? So today I'll be sharing with you 5 of the frequently used websites that I always use when I'm trying to collate data for my clients and how I analyze them. So hi, good afternoon. I'm James Lim, founder of the Property P.L.U.S System, and today I'll be showing you 5 free websites or calculators or tools that you can use when you are searching or researching on a property. Before we start on this video, please remember to subscribe the button to be updated on more news that I would like to present to you. And at the end of this video, if you like it, please remember to comment below and give a thumbs up button. For the first website I'll be talking about is your mortgage affordability calculator. This will actually tells you how much bank loan you can actually borrow from the bank. So you can actually go to this website sgluxurycondo.com/mortgage/affordability/calculator. So when I go on to this link that time, you will see that there is 2 columns. One is a main applicant and the other is actually a joint applicant. So let's say we have a husband, wife, okay? So let's say the husband maybe is age 40, we can actually put in and having a gross income of 7,000, and you know he do not have any annual variable income, and maybe he's actually financing a car loan of maybe $500. So when I click on calculate that time, you can see that what is good that the weighted age or the total amount that the loan tenure that you can get is 25 years and the maximum loan you can get is 669. So let's say if you have two, husband and wife would like to put in the value. If I put in maybe the wife is 39 years old and taking home an income of 4,000, just by clicking this calculate again, you can see that the loan tenure is also 25 years, while the loan amount is actually become 1.1 million. So the first calculator that's very good for you is by looking at your affordability calculator, that you can actually calculate how much loan you can actually borrow from the bank. Now let's move on to my second calculator. The second website that I'd like to show you is actually 99.co. So when I click on 99.co that time, let me explain which site to go to. Now the second one to look for is you should go to Explore, and under Explore you go to condos in Singapore. Now this is actually a very powerful website. So for example, let me search an example, Coco Palms, okay? And if you were to look at Coco Palms, why I feel that this website you'll be spending 99% of your time in it is because of some of the information that they will be giving you, alright? So when I scroll down at time, the very first information that I need is actually to look at the price trend, okay? So the price trend for Coco Palms, they have it in between 1 month to 10 years period. Normally, most of the time, I prefer to look either at the 5 years or the 10 years mark. And by looking at the 5 years mark, I will be able to see what is the average selling price of the development. Now, why I feel that this price trend is important, because in order to find a good property to buy, okay, I always encourage you to buy something that is in an upward trend direction, not a downward trend. And not only that, although it is upward trend, do not buy above the highest point, alright? So these are the 2 things I would like to explain. So do take note of these 2 when you are finding the average PSF of the property. Now this website is also very comprehensive, because by scrolling others, you can also look at the transaction history. Okay, so you can know that how much are people buying and selling in terms of the size, alright? And other information that is also good on this website is that you will be able to see like the different types of unit mixers, and you can even see the floor plan, alright? So you will be able to find out exactly how the floor plan or how the unit look like before you even go down to view the show flat. Last but not least, what I really love about this website is that by scrolling down below, commute and nearby places, do click on the one schools, because it shows that this condo, it has 10 schools within 1 kilometer, okay? And I always say this, now besides looking at the price, you have to look at the location. And what type of location do I want? Now we want places that has a lot of nearby schools or that is close to the MRT station, alright? The more primary school there are, the higher probability that it's easier for you to sell, because the number 1 reason why people move house is because of school, alright? So use this website, very powerful. When you're doing your research, you know, just key in the condominium name that you want inside here, and you can go and find out what is the price trend. Now, for my third website I'm going to talk about is actually the URA Masterplan. Okay, all this I'm following according to my P.L.U.S system. So when I look at the URA space at time, what I want to do is that I'm going to explore development site here. So what you do is to click on layers. After you click on layers, click on this called Master Plan Approved Amendments. Alright, and you will see that it changes color. Alright, so why I like this website is because it tells you the transformation that is going to happen for the next 5 to 10 years. So what exactly am I looking out for? Now let's go against to Coco Palms. Now let's look at this. So one of the project that I was actually recommending my client was actually Pasir Ris 8. Now why do I recommend this project that is actually located over here is because I always look for growth locations, okay, future growth potential. For example, now if you look at Pasir Ris site over here, you can see that this area is zone blue color. Blue color actually means it is actually a commercial zone for commercial. But if we see that it is still an empty plot of land, which means that in future, most likely there's going to be a commercial building, either a office or a shopping mall. And this will cause the price to increase. The second thing I also like to look out for are the yellow color. Okay, yellow color are what we call potential sites for growth. Okay, potential sites for growth basically means that the developer or the URA has not developed anything on these sites at all yet. Potentially next time in the near future, they may plan for something in future. So which means when they have more things up and coming, the growth will be better. Alright. So other places I like to look at are all these orange color. Alright. So you have to compare this with the layers with the one map. Okay. So for example, when we look at this site, this is a future HDB. Okay, this is a future HDB over here, and this and next time, and these two empty plots of land over here is still empty, but you can see that they are put here as subject to detailed planning, which means it doesn't have any plot ratio yet. What it means is that all this orange color means in future this will be residential. And likely, these two sites may be future condo. And when you have more future condo coming up in future, likely the price will be more expensive than the project that you are buying. And when the price is higher at the time, this will cause your property price to go up. So looking at this master plan is very important because the more empty sites or the more residential sites you have that is within 1 kilometer from the site that you intend to buy, the more potential growth it has. Okay, so now this is just some basic thing I would like to share. Of course, there's much more things I can talk about the master plan, especially like the Greater Southern Waterfront and other information. Okay, so if you look at these sites over here, look at the one map, you can see that this is actually an empty plot of land. Okay, and this empty plot of land next time in future also will be either be built as a HDB or a future condo. Regardless, it will cause your property price to go up around the Pasir Ris area. Okay, so the third I would like to share with you is the URA master plan. Now, after you have done your research, you like to buy or look at 2 to 3 properties. And even before you know what is the valuation, that whether the seller is actually selling way above valuation or at valuation pricing, you would like to find a valuation. And the best website I would like to share with you is, there's 2 that I'll share with you. One is Urban Zoom and the other one is the H-Plot Fair Value. Okay, and from these 2 websites, you will be able to estimate what is the valuation pricing of it, so you know how much to offer. So H-Plot Fair Value, what you can do is you can actually key in the website. I just put a random property, City Gate. Okay, and you can actually put in the unit number, and automatically it will come in with the size of the unit. Okay, with the size of unit, you can actually click on search. Now, this website you may have to register, but it's a free registration. So basically, it will tells you the valuation pricing. So the H fair value is 990, okay, at 2001 per square foot, and you will see that there are 2 transactions over here that occurs over here, so it will actually tells you the valuation. Now all this methodology is all computerization, so do not ask how they get it, but the whole basis idea is that they get from past transaction from the neighboring projects. Okay, and from here you'll be able to get the fair value or the estimated valuation. Okay, now after you have done your research and you have actually want to pull up a check to buy a property, the last thing you have to do is to calculate your loan expenditure or to calculate your cash flow if it is a rental property. And the last website I'm going to give you is something that is very, very powerful. So you can actually go to this website, sgluxurycondo.com/mortgage calculator. So this will actually calculate the mortgage. Okay. Now let's look at this mortgage calculator. So let's assume that you intend to buy maybe a 1.2 million property, and the down payment you take, okay, is 25%, okay, and automatically it will change the loan amount of 900,000, okay, and or if you want, you can even change this amount, okay, maybe you can actually play with it. Now you can also change the interest rate. Now right now interest rate is roughly around 1.2%, 25%. I've just put a little bit of margin, and you know your loan term is you get from the first website of your affordability calculator. Okay, depends on how old you are. So let's assume that you are 40 years old, therefore the loan tenure is 25 years. So from here, let's do a little bit of calculation. Now, if you are to buy a 1.2 million property with maximum loan, 75% loan, you will see that your mortgage is roughly around 3,500, which means when you do your research, okay, and you found out that that the rental is 4,000, okay, so I feel that you have a 500 cash flow incoming every month, so which means this is actually a pretty good property to buy. So you can actually use this as a form of cash flow. However, maybe let's assume that 3,500 is a little bit high to you. That is the rental, and then it doesn't really cover your mortgage. You can actually adjust, okay? You can adjust in such a way that maybe you want to have a shorter term loan, means you pay less interest. So you can change those to maybe 20 years. So if you change it to 20 years, the monthly repayment amount will also change, okay? So by playing with these numbers, you can either change the loan tenure or the loan amount, okay? So maybe you want to do more down payment, 30% down payment. Your monthly repayment will also change, okay? And at the end, you will also be able to see from here what is the total loan amount you want to take, and more importantly, what is the total interest that you paid over here. Alright, so of course, by taking a shorter loan tenure, let's say I change 25 to maybe 20 years, you will see that the total interest you paid is even lesser. Okay, so very important for investors, play around with these numbers. You can either change the down payment, means you put out more down payment. You can actually change the loan amount, or the loan term, in order to find what monthly payment you want to pay out every month. Okay, so that you can either have a positive cash flow or you can have a safe number that you want to work with. The last one I would like to show you is actually your amortization table. So now this is actually very, very, very powerful. Okay, why? Because with proper planning, for example, let's assume you want to sell the property after 10 years. And when you want to sell your property after 10 years is in maybe 2032. Okay, so you will see that actually the interest that you paid was actually 5,003, okay, but what you will just have to do, and okay, and this will show you your principal, this will show you your interest, okay. So what you just have to do is that you add up all the values of the interest, and this will tell you how much have you been paying. So when you tend to sell your property at time, what you just have to do is that your selling price minus off the down payment price minus off your interest, you will work out to what is your total profit when you want to sell your property. Okay, so this is a way to calculate when you sell your property, all the hidden costs. You can actually calculate the hidden costs from the bank interest to determine whether are you selling at a profit or how much profit are you making. So there you have it. These are my 5 tools, free tools for you to use when you are searching for a property. And I arrange them in sequential order from at the beginning of researching a property, calculating your affordability, all the way to before you even want to give a check to when you want to buy or purchase. So all these tools I've always been using in my 8 years of industry. Now, if you want to find out more tools, okay, click on the link below to my website. Over there, I'll give you 4 to 5 tools, including research and other tools like decoupling calculator, floor plan comparison, for you to choose or to look at. Okay, and these are all the secondary tools that I'll look into. So if you like these videos and you find all these tools helpful, please give a thumbs up button, like and subscribe. Thank you, so long and bye.